Anakin would have dreams about Padme being destroyed, and he couldn't let this happen. He had to save her, even if it meant turning to the dark side. However, one night, as he was having a nightmare, he would wake up in a different place. He was in the Hazbin universe. As he looked around, his skin was dark red. He couldn't believe this. How is this possible? He began to ignite his lightsaber. He needed to get back. As Anakin would begin to walk around, he was unfamiliar with his surroundings. He would begin to sense things with the Force, but his Force wasn't as strong as it used to be. It's like his Force potential was cut to 80%. Now, he was still extremely powerful for that universe, but for some reason, the Force was severed. And when he looked down, his entire body was in a dark suit. But then he would look back down and see that his body was normal again, and he had all of his Force potential back. He didn't know what was going on. Was this a vision? Was this another dream? Anakin would try to wake up, but he couldn't. Anakin would start to scream, "Hey, where am I?" As suddenly, angels would fly down, as it was extermination day. These strange angelic beings started to fly down. He would say, "Take me to Padme, take me to Coruscant." As they didn't know what they were talking about, they would try to strike him down, but Anakin would simply force push them all. Anakin couldn't destroy them without angelic weapons. At least that's what they thought, but since he can control the Force, he would use the Force to throw them around. And eventually he would pick up one of their weapons and strike one of them down with it, as then they all ran away. Anakin would be confused on where he was, and as he got angrier and angrier, hatred began to fuel his brain. But every time this happened, his body would go into a suit. And once he calmed down, his body would be normal again. He didn't know what was going on. Anakin would start to run around, panicking. He had no idea what he was becoming. As Anakin started to scream, he would swing his lightsaber against a wall and destroy it, and begin to tear down dumpsters and other things around him, screaming, "Ah!" As he was overwhelmed with emotion. He was scared. He was full of anger and fear. He didn't know if he could ever see Padme again, and he didn't know what he was turning into. But as he kept on screaming, suddenly someone would walk up behind him. It was Charlie, and she would say, "Are you okay?" As Charlie would slowly walk up to Anakin, Anakin was full with anger, sadness, and so many other emotions. As he would look at her with tears in his eyes, he would say, "I don't know where I am." She would say, "You're in hell." "What? No, that's impossible." Anakin had so many questions racing, as then Charlie would bring him into the hotel. As Anakin would lay down and try to get some rest. If this was a dream, he couldn't fall asleep, could he? This had to just be a dream, but Anakin would pinch himself, and he was still there. He felt the pain. Anakin couldn't believe it. It wasn't a dream. He would lay there all night. Eventually, he would pass out from exhaustion. And as he dreamed of being in a dark suit, being barely able to move, being barely able to walk, being able to pick things up with the Force and destroy things, However, Darth Vader would be shot by Force lightning by the Emperor. He would see so much. He would see terrible acts he would commit. Was this all really worth it? All to save Padme? Would she even be saved? These ideas and memories were rushing through his head. He didn't see everything, but he saw the hatred he felt. He saw the pain he felt of being burned. As suddenly he would wake up as he looked around. As then Anakin would walk down the stairs, Alistair would smirk at him. As Alistair can tell, he had so much power. He could sense magic, not the Force, but just by looking at him, he seemed like the type of person to be hiding a great power. As Alistair would look at Anakin, Alistair would say, "What are you hiding, young chap? I can tell." Anakin would summon his lightsaber and say, "Go away." But then he stopped and said, "I'm sorry." As he unignited it, he sat down. He didn't say a sorry out of fear, though. He said a sorry because he didn't want to do anything. Alistair got the sense that someone was holding back so they wouldn't hurt him, which was rare for him to get. And this insulted his pride a bit, but Alistair decided to ignore it, because he wanted to get down to the issue. As Alistair would sit down and say, "So, what's your story?" As Alistair would talk to Anakin, trying to get him to open up, Anakin would look at Alistair. As he would say, "You wouldn't believe me if I told you." Alistair said, "Go for it." As Anakin would tell him the whole story about tragedy, anger, about how he wanted to save Padme, Alistair would be shocked. Love? How about a deal?" "A deal?" Anakin would say, as suddenly the world began to shake around him. As then he looked at Alistair. "I'll help you get back to reality and save Padme, if you turn to the dark side." As Alistair's face turned all dark, Anakin said no, as suddenly he would wake up. As he would walk back down to the bar, Charlie would be there and say, "Oh, I'm glad you're up. Are you ready for a therapy exercise?" Anakin was still worried about Padme, but as the time passed, he got to know the characters in the hotel, and his anger and hatred started to fade away slowly, as he started to like the people there. Angel was flirty and annoying, but he had a good heart. Husk was fun, and he knew people just like him. After all, some of the clones reminded him of Husk, the way his personality was. And Alistair, he reminded him of Count Dooku, honestly, but not really much he can do. And he loved Charlie. Not like that. Charlie reminded him of his mother, and he was always there for her. However, one day, Anakin would be walking when he would hear wings flapped. As he looked down, it was Adam. "There, it's me, Adam, first man on Earth. I'm sure you heard of me." Anakin would say, "No, I haven't." As Adam would look at him, he'd never had that happen before. Kinda made him mad, but then he would sigh and say, "Listen, I know you're not from here. Why don't you help me? Team up with me, and together we can get you out of here. Don't you want to go back?" Anakin remembered the deal Alistair tried to make him, as he knew he was with the dark side. Suddenly, Anakin pulled out his lightsaber and chopped Adam in half, as his face would suddenly turn into Palpatine's face. He couldn't believe this, but then he would vanish. As Anakin would look around, he couldn't see him anymore. As then Anakin would go back. As Anakin would walk back to the hotel, Anakin would sit there and meditate. He would try to become one with the Force, one with his thoughts. He would start to see things. He would start to see people that weren't there. And he was wondering, was this hotel even real? Eventually, Charlie would look at Anakin as she would turn into her mother, then turn back to Charlie as Charlie said, "Anakin, promise you won't hurt anyone innocent." As Anakin would look at her and say, "I promise." As suddenly a portal would open up, as Charlie would say, "You're ready to go." Anakin would say, "Would I ever see you again? You will. I'm inside your heart." As Charlie would turn into Anakin's mom and give him one last hug before he ran out, suddenly he would wake up in bed. It was all a vision by the Force, a strange dream, a dream put in by the light side, the counteractor Palpatine's evil dream magic. As suddenly Palpatine would be sitting down, as Anakin would walk in, as he said, "Good, my friend, Anakin. Suddenly, Anakin would ignite his lightsaber. "I know what you are, and I'm going to finish you, right here, right now." As Palpatine would say, "So it's treason then." Palpatine would pull out two red lightsabers. He would jump at Anakin, almost destroying him instantly. As Anakin would be on the back foot, he would channel the light side, channel happiness, channel the hope in the side of his life. But it wasn't enough to defeat Palpatine. He would have to channel the dark too. He would have to find balance. As he would channel his hatred, he would channel his happiness, he would channel his hope, he would channel his revenge. Anakin would channel every single emotion he's ever felt and put it all into one massive strike, as he would strike Palpatine down. As Palpatine fell down, though, suddenly he would feel a sharp pain inside of him, as Palpatine would start to take Anakin's body since he struck him down with rage. Anakin would fall down and begin to scream as he fought against the darkness, as he fought against the anger. And suddenly, Palpatine would disappear. You see, the Hazbin universe was just a universe inside of Anakin's mind. As Palpatine would enter that universe, Palpatine would become like a split personality, alive inside Anakin, waiting dormant. As then, Mace Windu and the other Jedi would rush in, yelling at Anakin, as then he would show them the proof that he was a Sith Lord. As yelling turned into praise, Anakin was offered a seat on the council. However, he turned it down and left being a Jedi to marry Padme. However, Palpatine was still in there, and he was ready to try to take over his body and build a new Sith Empire any day. And that's going to leave things off. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Hope you enjoyed this video, because I know I enjoyed it. Now, the only way for this to work was if, Anakin had, like, a vision or a Force thing, because, like, obviously, for him to be, this wasn't going to be a redemption story. This was going to be about him learning not to turn to the dark side. And I also had that Palpatine thing, because it was mentioned that Palpatine can take the body of whoever strikes him down of anger, and I kind of like that, I think that's a really cool idea. And if I ever do Star Wars What If videos again, one of the first videos I'm going to do is what if Palpatine took Anakin's body, because I feel like that could be a great story, and it can really show things off, and it can really, really just, just be out there, Anyway, how are you all doing? Also, I don't know if any of my audience is in Florida, but I heard there was like a hurricane or something going on there, so I hope you are okay. I hope you all are safe. I love you so much. Thank you for watching me. Thank you for supporting me. And thank you all for being here for me. Thank you all for being a fan, because that really does mean a lot, Because this channel, it's something unique. It's something special. And we're about to hit 6K. And I really, really hope we can hit 10K before the end of the year, because I think that could go very well. Now, my channel has had its ups and downs. It's been getting popular, then it's getting not popular, like all channels. But recently, we're getting kind of an up. I don't know how long it's going to last. How my channel works, it's kind of like up, 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 down, 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 up, down, down, with views and other stuff. But yeah, right now we're in an up moment. I don't know how long it's going to last. Hopefully you can share this up moment. Hopefully you can be a part of this family, because, this channel is kind of like a family to me, and it's gone so well, When I pass away, I kind of want to pass on my channel to someone. I don't know if I'm able to do that, but I kind of want my channel to continue on forever, or for as long as possible. I do think that would be a cool idea. But, I don't know how that's going to happen. That's probably a long way away. At least I hope that's a long ways away. Anyway, love you all so much. Thank you for being here for me. Thank you for supporting me. I really couldn't have this without you. Peace out.